Hello everyone, I'm Coach, and today's topic is the reasons for Canadian study permit rejection. If you haven't subscribed to the Coach Education channel yet, please do so now. Your likes and shares will help us reach more viewers and grow. Thank you for your support. IRCC, that is, Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, plays an important role in the approval of study permit, acting as a gatekeeper. Such gatekeeping is more stringent compared to other countries' student visa applications because half of the Canadian international students ultimately become permanent residents. As such, although the approval process appears to be assessing the student's qualifications, it also has implications in terms of potential permanent residency for the students, thus making the approval process stricter. Many Hong Kong viewers plan to use Stream A to immigrate through studying. However, they found out that there was a technical challenge involved in the study permit process. Those who have gone through this path would know that the study permit is an important checkpoint that should not be taken lightly. Coach spent a lot of effort to make videos explaining the techniques to conquer this crucial checkpoint. But unfortunately, some people still had an overconfidence or overestimated themselves. This resulted in unnecessary time and money lost, not to mention the most serious consequence of having a rejected visa recorded on the Canadian Immigration Department and a flawed study plan. Prevention is better than cure. Guarding against errors is the first step to a successful Stream A journey. Coach sees many people entrusting others to process the student visa and study plan only to suffer from huge losses. Before taking the first step, it is most important to understand the reasons for study permit rejection so that one can prepare in advance and avoid unnecessary expenses. Wise selection lies in having a thorough understanding, which comes from the official sources. The most reliable information is obtained from the Canadian Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship, that is IRCC. We must always remember to follow the official rules. Be careful when selecting information shared online or through word of mouth. The primary reasons for study permit rejection are the lack of accurate knowledge of the official requirement and ineligible arguments. Most importantly, providing accurate and complete answers are essential. There is no distinction between claiming an omission or mistakes was unintentional and being viewed as making a false statement, because the power to judge truth and accuracy lies with IRCC. The IRCC emphasizes analyzing an applicant's track record and performance during its screening process. Where does this track record come from? It comes from every detail provided by the applicant, making accuracy of this detail crucial. In other words, the information provided must be truthful and not contain any gray areas, as these gray areas are what determine the credibility of the applicant. Unfortunately, this is precisely many applicants or their representatives end up damaging their own trustworthiness. A visa refusal can be reapplied for, but rebuilding trust is not so easy. Many failed study permit applications are due to the lack of trust, which is a lethal blow, having one feeling demoralized. In this episode, Coach introduces 8 reasons for visa refusal to help you stay alert and prepared. Number 1. Incomplete documents. IRCC does not require applicants to provide additional information. In other words, it will make a decision based on the information provided, and so any omission is the applicant's loss. The applicant did not provide all of the required documents: a valid passport, a valid medical exam, proof of financial support. Number 2. Inadequate finances. If the applicant does not have enough money to support themselves during the studies, they do not have a valid bank statement or proof of tuition payment. Coach reminds people to show that in addition to having enough funds to cover the expense during their studies, they also have to have enough backup funds. This would demonstrate that the applicant is only using a small portion of their assets to complete the studies, rather than spending all of the savings. As a high financial burden can be too much for the applicant, it might be better for them to stay in the home country and study there. This is what we meant by the opportunity cost being commensurate with the reward. Number 3, suspicious of overstaying. The applicant is not able to convince the visa officer that he or she will leave Canada at the end of the studies. Number 4, unreasonable purpose of stay. Failed to demonstrate adequate knowledge of the program and the school. Unconvincing career path. Unreasonable opportunity cost. If the visa officer finds that any of the evidence or story presented to be unreasonable, they will use it as grounds for visa denial. Thus, it is not enough to make up stories without basis. One must be able to convince the other party that the data presented is reasonable and acceptance to earn an approval. Number 5, inadequate language or education. The applicant does not have proof of acceptance by a valid educational institution, VLI, adequate learning scores, relevant education credentials. In an indirect way, the letter of explanation written by the applicant provides evidence of their ability to express themselves in English in order to be able to study. If they are not able to clearly explain the purpose of study in Canada, how can they be expected to have enough proficiency to learn in English? Number 6, criminal record. The applicant has a criminal record or has not provided proof of rehabilitation, is a security risk, has links to terrorists. This point is concerning national security considerations and is a requirement that the applicant must pass. Number 7, misrepresentation. The applicant has provided false or misleading information. Misrepresentation is a serious condition in the application of a study permit to IRCC because it is considered to be a form of fraud. Misrepresentation is an offense under both the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act and the Criminal Code of Canada and may have serious consequences such as permanent inadmissibility to Canada, a lengthy ban on entering the country, or even criminal prosecution. Misrepresentation can also have a negative impact on future application by the same person or other members of the family. Number 8, health condition. The applicant has a medical condition that may pose a risk to public safety. The applicant may require financial assistance. So before resubmitting your application, beware of all IRCC rules and regulations, especially the finer details. Respect the mindset of visa officer and the judgment behind their decisions. Identify your weaknesses and attempt to address them before submitting your application. Do not wait until after failure to try to improve and compensate for it. It is important to take the time to properly review your application and ensure that all details are accurate and up to date. Consider speaking with an expert to understand the process better and any potential weaknesses in your application. By taking the time to review your application, you can attempt to improve your chances of success. All applications need reasonable arguments and credible explanations. In the next episode, Coach will introduce an official document from IRCC which explains how they assess the eligibility and acceptability of applicants. Therefore, please pay attention to the launch of this episode, which includes some official explanation from Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, to help everyone review the application from the IRCC perspective. How to prevent rejection? Well, this is $1 million question. It is important to thoroughly research and to familiarize yourself with the official requirement before submitting an application to avoid any potential problems. Use only reliable and trustworthy sources. Also, never try to outsmart the system or attempt to bypass the requirement. Doing so can result in serious consequences. Furthermore, it is important to apply in a timely manner, as processing time vary depending on the country of origin and the type of permit being applied for. Applying for a study permit is an important step in the process of studying abroad. A study permit is a document that allows a foreign student to study in Canada, so make sure all the required documents are accurate, up-to-date, and truthful. Having incorrect and outdated documents can result in delay or even rejection. Understanding the terms and conditions will help ensure a smoother process and help avoid any unexpected issues. When you decide to reapply for a study permit, you should realize that the extra effort would help to transform your future. A study permit can provide you with a legal learning environment and more job opportunities. When a study permit application is rejected, it can be extremely emotional. It is important to take some time off to allow the emotion to pass before resubmitting another one. This will help you to look at the application objectively and figure out what needs to be addressed, so the application is more likely to be accepted the second time round. Taking time to make sure all the necessary information is included and that all requirements are met will help reduce the chance of a second rejection. Many subsequent applications will eventually get approved. The applicant must provide additional evidence to address the reasons for the rejection. Follow each of the rejection reasons and work on it to provide positive and reasonable evidence. Resubmission step by step. Number 1, review rejection reasons. Number 2, formulate arguments. Number 3, compile and submit additional documents. Most importantly, understand all the IRCC reasons for rejection so you can prevent or use it for resubmission. Thank you for watching this episode on the reasons of the refusal of Canadian study permits. For those who have not subscribed to the KOACH Education channel yet, please subscribe, give like, and share this channel so that it can reach more viewers and keep growing. Thank you for your support.